So we are on 27:6. Wounds from a friend can be trusted, but an enemy multiplies kisses. So if a friend comes up and says, no, you didn't do that right, or that wasn't well done, you can trust that they have your best concerns in mind and that they're telling you the truth. But an enemy, oh, that was so good, that was so wonderful, you were the best singer ever. Yeah, they may claim and give you salve and claim that they're nice and being sweet and everything, but look for the knife in your back. And it's certainly not going to be helpful to you when they give you false platitudes and false generosities. Because enemies are going to conceal until they can strike, or they're going to let you stumble and fall without stopping you. Where a friend is going to keep you from tripping and hurting yourself, and a friend is going to tell you in a kindly and loving way, certainly, how best to adjust what you're doing so that it becomes a good thing. Moving on to 7. He who is full loathes honey, but to the hungry, even what is bitter tastes sweet. We are in a country where we have a profligate amount of wealth, where I can put food on the table and the kids can be, oh, I don't want that. What? There are children starving in China. The statement is kind of funny, but the truth is we have too much. And when you have too much, you don't appreciate what you have. Where if you have just a little bit, or if you have been going without and you receive something, it becomes a sumptuous feast, a magnificent gift. And so sometimes we need to have some loss in order to realize our gain. That's our sinful nature. Sometimes God allows us to go through trials and temptations so we realize how wonderful our blessings really are. Moving on, 8. Like a bird that strays from its nest is a man who strays from his home. Okay, I don't think this one takes too much explanation. A nest is a place of safety. It's a place where you can raise your young. It's a place where you can go back and sleep off the ground, away from predators. It's a place where you can get together with other birds. The home is the place of safety, where you can go and be with your family, where you can raise a family, where you can get together with those who love you and encourage you. When the bird is flying away, there's some dangers out there, and you don't have the comfort of others. And when a man is away from his home, there are dangers out there, and he doesn't have the support network that he has at home. 9. Perfume and incense bring joy to the heart, and the pleasantness of one's friend springs from his earnest counsel. We try to make the air beautiful by putting beautiful scents in it, and then when you smell those scents and it comes down into your senses and it fills your lungs and I'm good. Well, the same comes when your friend comes and he has good thoughts and cheerful words, maybe sometimes not cheerful, but good counsel to bring to you. Comes into your ears and you listen to it and you say, that's right. I think you're correct in what you're saying. Maybe I'll follow that counsel and I'll do that. Moving on to 10. Do not forsake your friend and the friend of your father, and do not go to your brother's house when disaster strikes you. Better a neighbor nearby than a brother far away. That's an interesting statement because I have my siblings all far away. But when I'm in need, who do I go to? Well, I probably go to Ray or I go to Doug or Jim. I go to one of those people in the congregation who I know has skills I don't have or knowledge I don't have, and who has my best interests at heart. So this this proverb starts off by saying, don't forsake your friend and the friend of your father. These are the people around you, your neighbors, and your father's neighbor. When they need help them out. And you kind of set up then a community, a place when there's trouble, one looks out for the other. And when there's good time, you share in the joys too. But when you have need or you want to help, there's people around you right now, right here, at the moment it's needed, with the resources nearby when needed, who help you out. So had some recent car trouble, we took it to Greg. And I have some family members at a distance who might have been able to help with it, but they're not near. They can't help with it, but Greg is. And if Greg has some trouble, he can come to me. And normally he'd come to me with spiritual matters. And that would be good, and I'd help him out. So we build up this interlocking relationship and network. And the Proverbs person is, here it's Solomon, is saying it's better to have the people close by than even someone who loves you more and would be willing to give more, who's a long distance off, because they just aren't there when you need them. Which is one of the reasons why it's important to know God is close by. The song From a Distance, horrible song. Christ says, I will be with you always to the ends of the ages. He's here, and he's doing stuff here. And when we need him, he's here and he's acting here. 11. Be wise, my son, and bring joy to my heart. Then I can answer anyone who treats me with contempt. Father, Solomon here, speaking to his son, if you act in a manner which shows that you have grown in the nurture and admonition of the Lord, someone else comes to me and says, you're nothing. I could say, this is my son. And I don't have to give any answer beyond that, because the life of my children points out to the fact that my life was worthy. My life did good. God, through me, worked to make those children have wonderful lives. Now, this isn't, sometimes your children aren't going to have wonderful lives. They're going to do things that you don't enjoy. This isn't saying that that's always your fault. But it is saying that when we receive good things from God, and when we demonstrate those good things, the credit goes back to God. The credit goes back to our parents. That's where we should be putting the credit. We do the bad things, credit does not go to God, it goes to us. Do the bad things, credit probably shouldn't go back to our parents, it should probably stay with us, right? But here, as a parent, this is what I want. I want my kids to do well, to be loving, kind Christians who demonstrate the love of Christ in their life. And if they do that, then I end up being, mistreated by those out. I'm going to still have this to put before men, and certainly God will say, well done, thou good and faithful servant. I have this to put before them, that my children are good Christian children. 12. The prudent see danger and take refuge, but the simple keep going and suffer for it. So the prudent, those who have looked to God's word and learned from it, those who have looked to their elders and learned from their experiences, they have been given a way, a light, which lets us see things according to God's will and God's design. So we see some things and we say, that's something to avoid. And instead of just trudging ahead, we stop, right? Or we pull off. So if I'm getting tired at night when I'm driving, and I say the prudent thing is to find a rest stop, pull off, and take 15 minutes or something, or depending on the driving situation. But take 15 minutes and have a little break, wake up, go to the bathroom, get a drink, splash some water on your face, get back in the car and finish the drive. The simple keeps driving, falls asleep, and ends up in a ditch. We're going to stop there and continue with our last video for the day.